switch to our Weed Wednesday segment. And we have normally we join the incredible general managers that Greenlight has all across the St. Louis metropolitan area, learning about products, learning about prices, the undergrounds, the special places. And of course, it's all part of what Greenlight offers, being the number one, the biggest, the largest, the best products, the best pricing in the state of Missouri when it comes to all of your cannabis products. So today we thought we'd switch it up a little bit and talk to the man in charge, Tom Bommarito, jumping in with us in the studio today from Greenlight. Tom, good to see you in studio again, my friend. You guys continue to rock and roll. We talk to your general managers all the time, and you guys are growing, you're expanding. We thought it'd be cool to get an update on how business is going.
Good morning. Thanks for having me again.
Of course, Tom.
Enjoy it. Yeah, the business is great. I know my guys and gals have been on your show
they're great
now. Yeah, they're great. They know way more than I do. So thank God. They've taught me a lot. The business is different than the car business, obviously.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah. First time I ever hired anybody and said, you do smoke weed, right? Not usually a question you'd ask.
That's because you have to be an expert, right?
You really do. You really need to know how it works, how it affects your body. Everybody's a little bit different, so that makes it exciting. There's certain terpenes that work for certain things and certain people and different cannabinoids and all the things I've learned over time that I still don't understand it.
The general managers teach us on a weekly basis. They teach the community on a weekly basis too. A lot of exciting things happening. We've had people that come on our show, people that go into the stores and tell us about how they've been able to get off pharma drugs, how they've been able to find alternatives, Tom, to help them with their sleep. That's got to feel great for you. Obviously, number one, you start a business to make money, but two, if you can help people in the process, even better.
Yeah, of course. I was standing, you mentioned the underground earlier, and I was at the place in Ferguson on Friday, and a lady stopped me, and she's my age or maybe a little older. And she said, I just want to thank you. This stuff has really worked for my neuropathy. And for that to come out of, she just pulled me aside, and I guess she knew maybe who I was from TV or something. But anyway, it was very nice of her. But just to see how she felt about it, that she got off her regular script,
that's great,
better, and she feels better. And there she was standing in one of our lines waiting to pick up her grab and go order. She wasn't there long, 5 minutes, but just to hear something nice like that was wonderful. We hear that every day. It is a medicine. It can be used for fun, no question. You can feel a little laughy and have fun with it, but a lot of people it helps, and that's what our real driving force was to get in it.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys continue to grow. When I was looking up, I know about the stores in the St. Louis area, but are you guys now in Kansas City?
Oh, yeah. We're
in Southeast Missouri, Southwest Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, South Dakota.
Yeah, it's one of my partners. He started in Vegas, and his name's John Mueller. And John helped us apply here in Missouri because we didn't know how to grow weed. We knew how to retail things. Mm-hmm. I had no idea how to grow. So we needed him. He was critical. We ended up winning 3 grows. So all those green lights purchased, all the Missouri green lights purchased from our grows. So that's how it's all related. If you you can only have 8 licenses per person. So you do some partnering up to make sure you get into all the places that you want to be. So, so he has a brother, of course, my brother, and then myself. My son's involved. So we have several licenses here in St. Louis, and then we have 3 in Kansas City as well. But yeah, it's crazy. And John Mueller is stepping on the gas. He's the one expanding into South Dakota and Illinois and a couple other places. We have not. We're just focused on St. Louis right now in the Missouri markets at this time.
When I've been into the stores and talked to the bud tenders and your general managers, they have told me certain things, and I'm like, okay, I trust them. I've had other people who are very much into the industry, very much into using certain products, where they have gone to other stores just to check out, to sample. They say there's no comparison. And that's got to make you feel good. Number one, from the products, but also the education that goes behind it to actually teach people why you would use this and how it's going to help you.
You know, the main thing to know about, we're basically in the compliance business. And we try to make it feel like retail, but the state is very controlling of this, which is what you want. You want safe, tested products in the market. So they make sure that happens. Sooner or later here, you're going to hear a little news. One of the manufacturers involved in the business went out and brought what we think they did was brought some weed from Oklahoma and tried to make oil because weed is a little bit tight in Missouri right now. Let's back up a little bit. Once we went from medical to recreational, the business 4x'd. So and we were in the process of building out another grow ourselves, our third one, and we stepped on the gas on that too, but we were behind as well. So the spike happened. Not every grower was at optimum level because of medical. They were dragging their feet a little bit, wanting to make sure this vote happened, and it did. But anyway, people tried to break the rules. The good news is they tested everything, but they have now canceled. So cancel this. They've canceled those products, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I saw the product. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Actually, at the end of the day, this is a mess, but they tried to cheat the system and they got caught, which is great.
Are there specific people who got caught? Did they actually get caught then? Like they know who tried to do this?
They know.
And what was their motive of doing that?
Money.
Greed.
Okay, greed.
Correct.
That's what I thought. It was
I
just
think
greed.
It was just greed. And you can't. The good news is everybody's watching everything. That's awesome. So this wasn't poisonous. It wasn't wrong. What was wrong was you brought it from another state, and you can't do that. They don't want that. This was to create jobs in Missouri for Missouri, and that's what they wanted, and that's what the law is, and that's what we have to abide by. Some people bought this oil, if you will. It turned into gummies and vapes and things like that. And what happened, their yields were much higher than what their Missouri purchase of weed was, the actual trim or whatever you need to make it. It got pretty obvious in the metric system that
so you can check it pretty quick, and that's why.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking.
That's fascinating.
It is fascinating. And I like to talk about the good things and the bad things. I think this is a good thing. At the end of the day, nobody got hurt. If people got some of this product, they can return it. But there's nothing wrong with it. It did test everything. That's the good news. But it could have been a disaster. It could have been. Of course it could have been. The state has got their crap together, if you will. They're watching everything. And we use a system called Metric. And Metric has been around for a long time. And that's the state operating system. They contract with the state to make sure that from that seed to the sale is tracked, and they got caught, and that's what's going to happen. So that's a good thing. So
that is a good thing.
It gives me more confidence in the system at the end of the day.
And that it should give you more confidence in Greenlight as well. Talk with Tom Bommarito with Greenlight. Tom, I had a question. People love going to your stores. Is there any way that people are going to have a chance to maybe see another Greenlight store get out maybe a little bit more west of where your stores are now?
We have attempted to do that. We've looked at 2 purchases. Both of them fell through at this point. But yeah, we won 4 licenses in St. Louis, and we're in the city, of course, South City at Hampton and Chippewa. We're now in Rock Hill, which is kind of west. It's on Manchester Road, 9800 Manchester. Then we got the Ferguson location, of course, and then the Berkeley Airport location. We'd love to have one out in West County. We're working on that. Sooner or later, we'll probably get our hands on something. We're not afraid to purchase something if we could, but that's a situation now.
We need something in St. Charles County.
Yeah, I love that area too. There's only so many licenses. There's a new thing coming out, though. There's a micro business license. They just all applied in August. The date was a couple of days ago that everybody had to turn their license or their application in. It's a closed loop system, but it gives people the chance that didn't win the big licenses a chance to get into the business. They even like to find people that have maybe had marijuana charges and things like that actually boost your application. They're trying to bring more minorities in the business and all those kind of things. So it's good. But there's going to be another 2 dispensaries right away, 4 growers right away that'll be picked. But over the 36-month period, there'll be 96 more stores out there. There'll be, when I say closed loop, they'll have to buy from the ones that win a grow. They'll be buy from the ones that made a MIP, a manufacturing license, and then the ones that won the dispensary. So it'll be their own business group, if you will, like we have with MoCan and our group in St. Louis or here in Missouri. But I think it's really good for the industry. I'm hoping they'll fill some gaps where there's no stores. So
would that be in a partnership with Greenlight?
No, we can't do it.
Okay, I got you.
We're different licensees. This is a separate.
People just love your product and they love your choices and they love your prices.
Yeah, we have great prices. We have great people. You know, like I said earlier, these young kids, they know the business. Most of them are younger than me. Probably Eric's my oldest employee at 40 years old. But most of our people are in their mid-20s, early 30s, and they just know the product, love the product. So I think you see that in the stores. They enjoy it. They came out of other businesses that they didn't love, and they love this job. So it's great for them.
Michelle says, please, Tom, come to Lincoln County. If you can get to Lincoln County.
Yeah, we'd love to.
You've got customers there as well, if you could possibly do that.
We have a lot of people drive long way to see us, and we appreciate that. Maybe because we got opened early or we were one of the first stores open, and we helped a lot of people get a medical card. So we have some great loyalty in our system right now, and we appreciate that every day. We see the same faces a couple times a week, and it's great.
If you can hold on to those general managers too, I know you guys continue to
They're
teach
great.
and find the best employees you possibly can, just like you've done in your auto industry. If you can, those people, they sold me, they taught me a lot and
Yeah.
continue to teach me.
Me too.
And I just think they rock with what you guys are doing there. You were talking about the micro, I guess I'll call it a micro membership, so to speak.
Yeah.
Do you get worried that the state can become oversaturated? Because we've seen that in other states happen.
Yeah, like Oklahoma, one of the reasons that Oklahoma is such a mess is there's no caps on the licenses, which will have to create shortcuts, because if you're trying to stay in compliance, you can't afford to do it, because if there's too many places to go, then it becomes a price war, and pretty soon it's going to be a mess. And I know that the FDA is now having to hire 1,000 people to just to wrangle in that circus, if you will.
Wow.
down there.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah,
circuit.
so you can't do that. There's a lot of restrictions. When I said compliance, we're in a compliance business. Everything we do is on camera 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have to store that for 6 months. So that's expensive to do. On top of that, we have security in our stores. That's expensive to do. So there's things that people don't see that they're like, how come your weed's $5 more than the street? We have other expenses
Right,
that most
for
people
sure.
don't have. But we also know what's in it, where it came from, when it was grown, what time it was grown, when it was turned into oil. We know all that. So that's the difference between our weed and the street weed. It's safe. Even though they tried to cheat the system, no unsafe product got into the market. So at least that didn't happen. Then they figured out, oh, wait a minute, this guy's cheating the system a little bit. They got to be getting this weed somewhere else. And they figured it out. Didn't take long. So that's good. But so this micro license, going back to that, I think that there'll be a smaller group of numbers to start with. It'll be more boutique or craft beery feel to it,
Right.
if you will.
Okay. Makes
So it'll
sense.
be growers that probably were growing at home and now want a license, and they can grow now 250 plants at their store. We can grow 30,000 square feet of plants.
Got it.
There's a big difference in the size, but I think there's a market for it, and I think people will feel more community with it. And so I think it'll be good. I don't hate competition, never have. It's okay with me. Overdoing it would be a problem. We don't want to get into that situation, but they're spacing it out and they're trying to fill holes that there are no stores. So that's the key. So there's only 210 licensees right now in our business. Adding a few more won't kill us, and it's over time. So I think it'll be fine.
Well, I know that flour is super popular, still, as we're told, the most popular purchase that is made. And I also am understanding that when it comes to flour, you guys have flour in more frequently than anybody else.
We do.
And that's got to be a huge draw for people to come to your stores.
Yeah, even though there's been a little bit of a shortage, we have enough buying power. We've been in it long enough and created some relationships early on with some of the other growers besides ourselves. And then, of course, we grow our own, and we'll be opening that third grow shortly here, probably another month away from starting to grow there.
Oh, great.
And so then once we start growing, that's another 90 days, of course, to get the product out and dried and all that stuff. But I become a farmer. I never thought I'd say that.
You're a farmer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Farmer Tom.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's amazing to me. The people that grow it love it. They talk to the plants. We play music in there. It's just all these things they do that.
That works.
That's
right?
amazing. Yeah, talking to the plant.
Are you playing classical music?
We play it all.
You play it all.
We've seen studies. We talked about this in the show once, where classical music being played to plants.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
They grow.
Apparently they do. But they do like rock and roll too.
Of course they do. Of course they do. They have to.
They do.
That's great.
Put some electricity in that soil too.
Yeah, it's weird. But so everything's going on at one time there. But the lights are different in there. And it's just a whole different feel. But it's all indoor growing, of course. Very regulated, very watched. Feeding on time, watering on time, dark and light on time, and it's crazy. But there's a lot going on in there.
There's a lot to that, isn't there?
There is.
By the way, before we let you go, one of our listeners and a customer of Greenlight says, and by the way, I'm also headed to Honda Bommarito in just a little bit. So there you go.
Yeah, we have a couple people on there very pleased with Honda, and I think they said Ford. I think Lisa bought a Ford Bronco from you guys. So
yeah.
you guys have a great name.
And you're recognized wherever you go, whether you want to be recognized
Yeah,
or
you
not.
can't help it.
The other day I was at the International, or over at the Gateway Metro and our Gateway track, the Worldwide Technology.
Yeah, the big
track.
race coming up.
Yeah, there is.
So we have the 500 coming up, of course. But I was there for the IndyCar race, and I was walking up the steps, and so the guy goes, "Oh, there's the weed guy."
There's the weed guy, the car guy, and the weed guy.
Yeah. I thought it used to be the car guy.
Now the weed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
The
there a
weed
preference, or do you like to
guy.
be known both?
I stick with both, but
Yeah.
I do enjoy the marijuana business. It's just a learning thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm being educated every day. You know, what's interesting about this business is the FDA's never really studied this. All drugs get studied, but this has been classified as a stage 1 drug. So the research that now doctors are realizing all the benefits of this, they didn't get that chance because nobody wanted to talk about it. Everybody was staying away from it. The amount of opening of their eyes, even the medical field is going, hey, this stuff works for a lot of things, sports, lots of head injuries. I was talking to a football player, and he's part of the business now, and he said, they were telling me I was going to lose my legs due to neuropathy.
Wow.
He switched to marijuana, and it had been beat up so long, and he got better, his legs got better. He's never touched another drug. It's just crazy. There's some real miracles out there that this stuff helps with.
We love promoting it for you, that's for sure.
We appreciate that too.
And you're great when you come in. We got to get you back in again at some point in time.
Anytime you want.
The general managers are terrific. We love that.
Sure are.
Tom Bommarito with Green Light Dispensary. Anything else you need to let anybody know before we let you go today? Any updates, any education, anything?
Well, the last thing, just we do have flour. It's on 75% of our business. I know people are looking for it. It's high testing. We carry every brand. We try to carry everyone's product, even our own. There's no scare points out there right now. Everything's been taken off the shelf, so don't worry about that. But it's all good news. Business is great. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you letting us have time on the show, and I think it's been good for all of us to be educating you all and you educating us. So it's been great. So it's all a learning curve, but we're happy to be here.
Tom Bommarito, everybody. Check out all of the stores, Green Light Dispensary. They have multiple stores throughout the St. Louis area. And of course, if you need to know anything more specific about it, you can go to canceltheshow.com. We have all of the information on what they're doing, their website. You can check out all of the stores as well. Greenlightdispensary.com, greenlightdispensary.com. They have dispensaries all over the place. And as we said, because of their size, because of the best products, the best prices, the best educators, and it's a one-stop shop. So we appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for coming in today, my friend.
Nice to see you all.
All right. Tom Bommarito with Green Light Dispensary.